Hello and welcome to this new video. This one I want to talk about Cubase again, and let's talk about the cursor position and the starting point. Maybe it doesn't sound that exciting at the moment, but I promise it can really speed up your workflow. And I saw many different methods online and I tried them all, and I show you my experience and what I like and don't like about these methods. And the default setting is here, transport. We have start from project cursor position, which means I have to click here. So when I click here on an empty space, the cursor doesn't follow. Also when I select some stuff and I hit play, the cursor doesn't follow. So I always have to click here, or I can use my plus and minus keys on the keyboard, or I can hold Control so the cursor follows the grid. And one method I saw online is when you go to your options, you have here transport, locate when clicked in an empty space. So let's try this one out. And what that means is whenever I click on an empty space, like this one, here, or here, the cursor follows. But what I don't like about this method is it doesn't follow the grid. And also, what do I do when I have a setting like this? So there is no empty space. And also, when I have selected some events like this, and what do I do when I want to deselect these events? I click on an empty space, and I don't want that the cursor always follows me all the time. So I ditched this method. So let's deactivate it. And I show you another method, which is this one. Go to transport, start mode, and here we have a third mode, start from selection start. And I used this one quite for a long time and I still really like it, but there's a little catch. And I show you this in a few seconds. And what that setting means is whatever you have selected and you hit space or you hit play, the cursor jumps to this position, like this. Let's say we want to hear the track from there or down there, or let's say up there. So this is really useful. Also, when you are in a setting like this, you can change to your range tool and you can click into your wave files, and also the cursor follows. So like this, I can say I want to hear the part from here, or from here, or from here. And it's really useful. So now what's the catch I mentioned? And the catch is it's with the MIDI notes. So I have the drum editor here. Let's ditch these notes here. And let's say the cursor is here. And with this new method, whatever I have selected, the cursor immediately follows. So let's say these are selected. And this is on purpose, which is okay. But let's say I do some programming, drums, orchestral stuff, whatever. And let's say, where is the white? Let's say the white, I draw in some notes. This doesn't make any sense, by the way, just for the sake of this video. And you can see when I draw in new notes, some of them are highlighted. And of course, what happens when I hit play? The cursor immediately jumps to this new note, which I don't like. And of course, I can change to my object tool. I can deselect the notes and then, yeah, but it's too much work. It's too much clicks and too much changes with the tools. So this is the reason why I ditched this method. And I also tried to change the setting only in the MIDI editor. So like this, I changed the default setting, but then it also doesn't work in the project window anymore. And yeah, this is the reason why I ditched this method, even though I really liked it. But I found another solution, and maybe some of you know I use Cubase shortcuts all the time, so I did a little research and I found some interesting shortcuts. So let's go to the shortcut window, and here we have our search bar. And let me show you this one here. It says play selection range, which is Alt and space. And I think this one is set up by default. And what that means is we can stay in this default mode here, start from project cursor position. And which means when we have something selected and we hit play, the cursor doesn't follow, but when we hit Alt and space, the cursor follows. So now we have the same option as before. Let's say we want to hear this one. Or let's say this one. Or this one. This is an empty event. But there's also a little catch. Or at first, let me show you this. You can also, with this method, you can also choose your range tool, as I showed you before, and you can also say, let's say the cursor is up there and you want to hear it from here. Click in with your range tool, Alt and space, and boom. And here you can see the little catch. The shortcut says play selection range, which means it only plays the range you have selected. So with this method, with your range tool, you have to select a range like this, Alt and space. And then it stops automatically. And the same thing for your standard selection tool. Let's go back to this little event here. When I hit Alt and space, it stops right after the event. And I found another shortcut, so let me show you this. And it is this one. Play from selection start. And this one is not set up by default, so I used Shift and space. I think Shift and space is by default something with the tap tempo feature, and I don't use it that much. So when I need it, I can do it manually without a shortcut. So I set this shortcut with Shift and space, and the cool thing is I can use Shift and space. I can use my pinky for the Shift key and my thumb for the space key. And what that means is exactly the method I showed you before. So you can click wherever you want, like this. I hit Shift and space. Or let's say here. Or let's say this little one here. But here, Cubase doesn't stop the playback. It goes on and on and on, which I really like. And with this method, we solved our problem with the MIDI notes. So let me show you this. Let's go back to the drum editor and let's deselect the notes, and let's say the cursor is here. We are doing our stuff. We draw in some new notes here. You can see this note is selected, but when I hit space, it doesn't follow the note anymore. But I can also say, when I want to hear just these notes, I can select these, and now I can hit Shift and space. And the cursor follows my selection, which I really like. And here we can also use our known shortcut Alt and space. And then it stops right after the notes. And yeah, so this is my favorite method I use now all the time. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful. And again, I really recommend try out these different methods and see what works for you. For me personally, it's the last method I show you. I use it all the time. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye.